Hello everyone, so I'm gonna put the shield on for just a minute so I can share. When I get the okay, you'll know why I keep doing this. Okay, shield off. Come on. Okay, shield off. Shield's off. Okay. Had to make sure. There. Confirm. And it remains delightful. Hopefully an explanation shall reveal itself. Let's go look at this. Ingredients are portmanteaus, trace tonic, 5 brilliant Professor Sprout. So, first things first. I kind of was waiting to do this specifically for this. Okay, done there. Not registry, port keys, use. Okay, let's see. And I'll be honest, for once I am not complaining about ingredients. Because most of my potions I need some ingredient for. Though I would love to get unicorn hair. One unicorn hair. That means I can do one potent potion. Oh well, just get rid of this. Okay, that's why. Ah, come on, Professor Sprout. There. I'm not after the ingredient. Oh well. I may have to delete some ingredients, because some I've got a ton of. So anyone who hasn't realized, and they hit part 3 and it said do something like return 200 foundables, something like that, restart your game if it's still saying that. They have fixed that. So, that's helpful. And if you're on part 3, or I mean part 4, where you're looking for the mystery note, the pieces are random drops from foundables. Seeing what I have the most of. Because I saw something over here I need. Oh, that's right. I need to drop a trace too. Oh, I forgot. I didn't get him or Professor Sprout. That's right. That's why he's not returning. At least not as quickly. Now I just need Professor Sprout. While I wait for her, I might as well go after the rest of this stuff. Then I can show you where I got to on the Brilliant event. Or not the Brilliant, on the Wizarding weekend. It was actually kind of frustrating. Because I got home after going live and tried to go in the fortress, and I made it in once without an issue. And then I tried to go in again, and in a ruins chamber by myself. Or I may have gone in a few times, I can't remember, but it kicked me out and it said server not available. So I went back in, and instead of usually, you know how usually you'll be jumped back into the battle, it did not jump me back into the battle. So I figured, okay, I guess maybe it's just going to give me everything back. That's okay, you know, I'm going to catch this guy, screenshot him just to be sure. So I figured, okay, maybe it for some reason just isn't giving me, just lost that I was in a battle. That's fine, we'll deal with that. So I tried to go back in. It would not let me, like, I'd get in the fortress and it would freeze on the screen to select your chamber. Totally freeze. Wouldn't let me go back in the same chamber, wouldn't let me go in any other chamber. Just completely freeze. And it proceeded to do that for a while. So it was very annoying, because here I am, I'm trying to get everything I need, and to get to gold, because I needed night buses and I needed the wanted poster of Sirius Black. And so I'm trying to go on the night bus as often and as quick as I can, and it won't let me. And so eventually, so I just went after stuff there, and then I went back in, and it finally let me back in the fortress and behaved, but it took forever. And then, so I got that done, but then I only had like a couple minutes left for the wanted poster. I did end up dropping a trace charm, and I did what I could. I still needed 5 by the end of the event. I think I got like 2. This morning. So I'll show you that once I get everything here while we're waiting for Professor Sprout to show up. You're not Professor Sprout. Are you Professor Sprout? Nope, you're not Professor Sprout either. Are you Professor Sprout? Nope, still not Professor Sprout. My suspicion, last time we had a random drop, within a short while, we had a new page. I would not be surprised to find out this random drop is something about a new page, probably during Wizarding Weekend. That they usually drop them during events. Possibly a hint as to new information, but yeah, I'll show you, because so the last time we had a random drop like this was Yule Ball. And what the random drop was the was for that page. I will show you in a minute. Once I finally... Would you just return? Okay, depart then. Oh, let's go after these two and I'll see then, because I need Professor Sprout. You aren't Professor Sprout. Are you Professor Sprout? That's the wrong one. Where'd you come from? Are you Nope. You're Flitwick. Are you Professor Sprout? Nope, you're Bogrod. Are you Professor Sprout? Yes! Still need more Professor Sprouts, but so this page I actually have completed. They're all green star waiting for me to complete the thing. So, the registry portion. So, let me show you, where was it? You'd think I just saw them. Right there. Last random drop we got was the Yule Bulb program, if I remember right. Or Dumbledore's Army sign-up sheet. So both of those are, you saw where they're at. So, yeah. Still need Professor Sprout. And she'll be all over the place as soon as we catch her. Enough of her for the task. You know that. Okay, I hope what I saw out of the corner of my eye is still there when I get back in. Yay, it is. I saw that right as I clicked on it, and it's like, drat, I need that toadstool. I am going to attempt something with the next one I see. So many of these are just repeats, and aren't even helping other than for the random books, but oh well. The random books and filling out the page so I get the restricted section books, I think is what they are. There's so many books now, it's hard to keep track of which books are which. Too bad this doesn't count. Come on, Wormtail. Peter Pettigrew. And it's not like this even bothers him, unlike some of the others. Like Harry and Hermione and them. Makes me wonder if this has anything, the more I think about it, anything to do with the ring that Harry lost / purposely dropped in the forest. because that ring brings back people who are dead. Now, of course, this isn't bringing back the dead, but by this point in time, everyone would know, okay, maybe the Deathly Hallows are real. However, the cloak, Harry's not going to, Harry's left to given to his son, and and I'm sure to reduce the desire for the Deathly Hallows, so people realize it's not worth it. Harry has spread the word that really it's not so much a master of death, it's that you don't fear death, etc. And reduce the desire for the ring that, yes, is gone or is lost somewhere. Maybe not gone, but lost. Harry spread the word that it doesn't really bring the person back, and that's why so many of them died, was what's brought back is not a accurate representation of the person, etc. So, and they're miserable and everything else. And so maybe someone once again wanted to bring back their loved ones, want that chance. I mean, look at what we do know of Grimm. His parents both died, and he swore his kids would not have that same fate. Would not go through what he had been through. And yet, they are right now. In very many ways. So, was he somehow trying to bring back his love in a way that overcame the issues with the ring? And so you'd bring back who they really are, not some facsimile, but instead, once again, and that more than one person could use it at a time, hoping that would overcome the issue. And maybe more than one of them, there's a reason for them all working together. But at the same time, that still obviously wouldn't work. We know that. So then it caused this issue. We see them at that moment in time but risk so much more. And in a much more undesirable way. Or maybe not much more, but in an undesirable way. to where it still doesn't accomplish the desire that was likely there behind it, if that is what's going on. Which I would not be surprised to find out that's actually what's going on, is it was something along those lines. Because one thing I am seeing is it's what you focus on brings up more. And you're going to focus on someone frequently if you care about that after their, especially right after their death, but even years after, years and years and years. So, one thing I don't think I've ever stated on here is that I've had 2 miscarriages. And there not a day goes by that I don't think of them. What would they be like? What would they have grown up like? Whatever. Well, if you wanted to bring someone back in a way that was not the ring, but rather allow them to try something to allow them to, quote, quote, live a normal life, this would be a way to do it. Because they would, because of everything along with that. Now, is it collect or use? Collect 2 level. Collect 2 rune stones. Okay. One rune stone. 2 rune stones. How was that? Collect. Hogwarts School. That one's going to be harder. Because they're not here right now. Oh, come on. Professor Flitwick, you need to return. But what's happening is, one thing I'm seeing is it's affecting everyone. Not just those who are dead, not etc. So, that's part of what makes me wonder about it all. And maybe Grimm's wife had forgotten that little portion, or had forgotten that Grimm would be focused not just on the loss of his wife if she were to disappear, but also on the loss of his parents and what the loss of his wife meant to his kids. And you put all of that together, and part of me wonders, the spell that's put on the ring that made it what it was, is that what was in the book that disappeared from the library? Because obviously, unless you believe that what was given, or believe the story about how the Deathly Hallows came about. It's kind of like in today's day and age. Some stories about how things came about we know are just stories. And they actually were created by people. But then stories were put in place to give credibility to it, or to take the focus off certain people or certain things. Could someone have figured out how to bring people to life and, like, not back to life, but that the spell on the ring, could that have been put in place by a regular person? They realized it didn't do what they wanted. And so they created a story about it to and they realized they couldn't destroy it. So instead they created a story about it to warn off others from trying the same thing. The story about it drove them to death, drove their ancestor to death or whatever. The story about the wand, could they have literally created a wand that's, but even then, something's weird about that. Supposedly, it makes someone stronger, but I'm talking about, so I'm wondering, you've read the stories, I'm wondering if the Deathly Hallows fits in with this. So and if you go back and watch, you'll see, but I'll quickly go over it. I'm wondering if the ring portion of the Deathly Hallows, that you'd turn it around and someone you loved who was dead would appear, you could bring someone back, but it was just a shadow of that person. Could all of the Deathly Hallows been actually created by someone? And these stories were put in place because they realized, one, the danger of someone using these spells to create other objects that do the same thing, and two, the problems, or to hide that they had this knowledge, and to hide this knowledge. And could that spell have been somewhere in that book that Grimm grabbed? And could this be a way of bringing back people, have been the idea behind it being a way of bringing back people from the dead without going crazy? That happened with the ring that Harry lost. A way to go from there, because it affects both living and dead. Could, maybe they combined something like now I can't even think of the name, but the way they teleport to different places. Plus the spell to bring people back from, the spell that was put on the ring. Because if you think of the ring, okay, there's that. If you think of the wand, so the wand has been used by all the strongest wizards, and it's said that that's what makes them strong. But honestly, if you really think about it, if the wand was invincible, how would other people be able to defeat the person eventually? My guess is that is just a story. That the person who created the ring and possibly the cloak was actually so strong that the story was given about their wand. And they just claimed it was their wand. If you look at it, Harry getting the Elder Wand did not strengthen him at all. His skills were already there. In fact, it did nothing that at least from what we saw in the books, it did nothing for him that his own wand couldn't do. And in fact, that's why, unlike Dumbledore and everyone else who had the wand in the past, they would use that wand as their main wand. Harry did until he could repair the wand that had chosen him. Rather than a wand he overcame, he chose to go with a wand that had chosen him. And I believe it's because he realized there really wasn't much difference other than the stories behind the wand. And so, obviously, if you're a really strong wizard and you're trying to conquer the world, and there's this story of a wand that will help you do that, you're going to go after it. So then you'll have the wand and you'll keep conquering. But if you're that strong and you're trying to conquer the world and you go after the wand, you're going to lose. And so it's going to continue backing up that story, if that makes sense. Dumbledore gave him the ring in the Quidditch, in the snitch. Remember, I open at the close? The ring was in there. And it was on using the ring, so this is all in book 7, that his parents came back. Owning all 3 of the Deathly Hallows, the wand, the ring, and the cloak, would allow you to master death. Or that was the story behind it. Harry's mastery of death was, he didn't fear death. He loved life and didn't fear death, and that's really a true mastery of death. Dumbledore, when he got the ring from where Voldemort had hid it, because Voldemort made it a Horcrux, it actually killed his hand. His parents came back. It actually was his parents, Remus and Sirius. All came back and surrounded him and helped him as he was walking through the dark forest towards Voldemort. And in the process, sometime between him calling them back, like him using the ring and them coming, and meeting up with Voldemort, at one point he said, "Don't leave me," and they said, "We won't," and they kind of disappeared, but he also dropped the ring. They're in the forest somewhere. And where was unknown. It was somewhere in the forest. And that was part of what you could buy, the things that were sad and stuff. It was part of what gave him the strength to continue on, knowing he was going to face Voldemort, knowing what Voldemort was that Voldemort would be trying to kill him, etc. So he dropped the ring. When he got close enough, he took off the cape. He still used the wand, and he didn't have the wand. He was the owner of the wand, or the wand owed loyalty to him, which is also kind of weird. The wand owed loyalty to Harry, supposedly, according to the stories, but all it took for Grindelwald to get the loyalty of the wand was to steal it from the owner. However, Voldemort actually hit Harry with a killing spell, and there was a period of time it was not known if he was dead or alive. But that did not take the loyalty of the wand from Harry. So, my suspicion, as I said, is that there was once a wizard that was strong enough that people wondered how he learned everything he learned, whatever else, and in order to not have to share it, he claimed it was all in the wand. And so obviously people tried to get the wand, and later, and he also created the ring, and the cloak. And the ring obviously drove some people crazy using it. Whether they were already crazy or not, there's no saying, but it did drive some people crazy using it. The cloak, the one thing is, everyone who had the cloak, who was an owner of the cloak, and had the cloak in their possession, no one ever died with the cloak in their possession, if I remember the story right. Harry's father owned the cloak, but he had lent it to Dumbledore to explore, because Dumbledore suspected that it was one of the Deathly Hallows because its invisibility spell never wore off. Dumbledore did not die until after he gave possession of the cloak to Harry. Harry, we know, didn't die. A few things like that. So I suspect the reason is, if you had the cloak and your life was in danger, you'd use the cloak. And no one would know where you were. And the story itself says that the person who owned the cloak took it off and welcomed death. He hid from death until he was ready, and he welcomed death. And that's supposedly what's happened to everyone who owned the cloak since, is they took the cloak off and welcomed death in one way or another. Well, obviously, if you have a cloak that makes you invisible, it's going to be kind of hard to kill you. So And I was saying, I wonder how much that is a representation. I'm going to close and reopen to see if more come in. Representation of the stories we've heard. Of some of the stories we've heard, that they have some basis in fact, but not full. They are stories, but they have some basis in fact. Some of it being, how kings came to be, or this or that or the other. So, and that would be a great, I could see JKR doing that, having that plot point, that knowledge in the back of her head, but not necessarily sharing it with everyone. But that's how that story, knowing for herself, that's how that story came about. And my idea with that, so where all that applies to Wizards Unite is this. What if the guy had or whoever created these, the wand, or the cloak and the ring, or maybe just the ring and the cloak came in from another person. But whoever created at least the ring had a book. And was in, I believe it was Bulgaria? I'll have to look. Let's actually go look right now. Whoever had that book, somehow that book got to... Is it this one? Yes. That tomb. And it got to, where is it? Is it this one? Nope, but that's a note from Grimm. Nope. I'm just trying to find it. But it got somewhere. Maybe that is right there. Anyway, it got somewhere, and the book got somewhere, and that's where Grimm got the book from. And we did read about it. I'm just struggling to find it. Aha, here we are. This request for this tomb, where was it from? It just says interagency. Prague. So the tomb got to Prague, and that tomb may hold, the spell may have been written by whoever created the ring. And so then they take that spell and try to adjust it so that whoever uses it doesn't go crazy. Because everyone who used the ring went crazy. because as I said earlier, and you weren't here for, the focus of the foundable is, or what comes with from the foundables is whatever you focus on. Well, if they tried to combine apparition with the ring, so that if you thought about something or someone, they would appear there, whether they were living or dead. Anyone who's lost a loved one knows that you, especially that of a child, knows you think about them frequently. And you, even years and years and years and years later, you never forget them. I said earlier, I've had 2 miscarriages. And the last miscarriage was about 2 years after David was born, so 14 years ago, and I still think of them daily. At least daily. And so if you had that, and you had it, maybe the idea was that they would be able to basically live a life with you. And Grimm, we've got to think he was focused on not just the loss of his wife, but also of his parents, because he literally said he did not want his children going through what he had gone through. And maybe someone was controlling them from above and did kidnap him, or somehow he got caught in it because of everything, and there hasn't been enough focus to bring Grimm out as a foundable yet. Who knows? But one thing we do notice is that you can have people, you can have young Sirius Black, you can have Sirius Black from when he's older, and an animagus, etc. So not just at one time period, we have different ages. So, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. And it's just something that, it's a question that's I'm curious about as I got thinking about it. Especially with how many, as I got thinking about the fact that of the Marauders and how many of them are dead, and yet how much they show up in here and everything else. So, just some thoughts. Anyway, did you ever get your new phone? I'm gonna look for something while. Okay, I was just curious. I know that you have been, or yeah, yeah, I know what I was going to say, but I decided not to. Is there anything we can do to help you, or like just with life, with your headaches and everything? That's what I'm trying to get at, trying to figure out how to say, I think is, yeah. Are you at work right now, or staying home because of your headaches? Just curious. Also, while I'm thinking about it, what time works the best for you for me to go live? That is weird. It makes me wonder, because I do know sometimes, like, even before Wizards Unite, we used to get that a lot with Pokemon Go or Facebook. And if you completely deleted it and then reinstalled it, it would significantly reduce the amount of space it used because of all the updates. So, like, basically, rather than starting with a desk and piling things on top of the desk to reach the height you want, and to get, adapting the desk over and over and over again to get the design you want for the desk. Then you take that desk and redesign and have it built brand new. Some of those in-between steps are removed. And then you don't have as much clutter around unused. And I think that's what happens with some of the apps. I can't say for sure that's what's going on, but I have noticed that off and on. It's also possible, and totally another possibility, that Wizards Unite has streamlined some things, and that actually may be part of our issue with the weird, hey, we're doing an event now, let's have something happen. I can't say for sure, but it's an idea. So what time works best for you for me to go live? So that if my days are wide open, I can go live when it works best for you. Actually, I was going to reduce the screen, but brightness, but got thinking probably should wait. Reason I'm asking is then I could work on at least on the YouTube ones of trying to go live when it works best for you. I'm thinking Thursday, starting Thursday, I probably will go live on Twitch either at right around 8 or right around 12, 11 to 12. So, and another question I had, if I were to do a giveaway this year, what would you be interested in? One idea I came up with is trying to make some wooden styluses, the wooden wand styluses, and have some cloth bags made for them. But I'd like some ideas. You don't know on that either? So either one of two things is happening. Your headache's really bad and you can't think, which I could see. Or you're kind of out of it for some reason, I'm guessing. or you need time to think. This is what held me off on being able to get to gold. So I looked up on Twitch, to get to affiliate, you need to have 50 followers. Not subscribers, followers. And then, oh no, not a problem. So, and then from there I can start earning money on Twitch. I'm actually thinking I may need to go soon so I can turn down my screen brightness, one. And so I can let the phone charge a little bit so that then I can get my Twitch stream in tonight. What? Is it something I can know here? Oh. I don't know. Twitch seems to be really easy with people following you once word starts to get out. On a lot, it's a average of 3 viewers and to have 50 followers. And what I'm seeing with Twitch is a lot of the streams I'm seeing easily have at least 10 to 15 viewers. Honestly, I think my average is 1 to 2 right now with 3 followers. So if I can get that up, I think that's a lot easier to reach than the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours that YouTube's is to start earning money. Because, yeah, for YouTube, it's 1,000 subscribers, which is similar to followers, and 4,000 watch hours. Twitch, I don't remember how many hours you have to have streamed. And part of the reason I don't remember is I knew that wasn't going to be necessarily the holdback. It would be more the average watches, which doesn't appear, or which, we'll see, but I'm guessing that should be okay. It shouldn't be that hard to reach, I'm hoping at least, and the 50 followers. And I get the followers and subscribers mixed up sometimes because you actually have both on Twitch. But basically, Twitch makes it easier. from what I've heard, it's not a lot of money, but then once you hit affiliate, you start growing. Just like when you hit on YouTube, you know, your different points. Each time you hit a certain point, you grow more. I think the same is true on Twitch. You know, they share a bit more, people are sharing more, etc. Word gets out more. And I know it's a slow and steady slog, but back just a minute and I'll show you where we're at with YouTube. Go after this one first. At least. Maybe I'll stay on here for 13 minutes and then we'll see. Because I do need my Hogwarts ones. So is the heat part of the headache? Just curious. Or are you one that likes the heat? That works. Okay, well, it's doing something. Yeah, as you know, I'm one of the ones that like the cooler ones. So we've got 19 subscribers. Let's see. Analytics. Mm. 27,535 minutes. So we've got 458, almost 459 watch hours on the channel in the past year. Are you on the part that you have to return him? Which reminds me, I probably should place him. I hadn't placed him because I was thinking of, oh, we have the part where you need to place him, but you also have to return so many of him too, so might as well place him. Or not place him, but... she annoys me. I spent time practicing charms on my pet. I just ask because we both know that it slows down when you get to that point. He becomes harder to go after. I think Brett just got home. Yep. You don't happen to have the last... I'm wondering if it's because you hadn't got there yet.
You're streaming?
Yeah, I'm streaming. You want to know how she said hi to you?
What?
Hi, Dum Dum.
Hi, Jan!
I told you it doesn't bother him.
I get called worse than that at work by my coworkers jokingly.
So, the ones I don't have are... Hi, Brett. LOL. I'll get a hold of you with the sets of screenshots I have not been able to source yet. They're both from the beginning of last year. And I will be going through watching my videos, seeing what I can get, but I'm pretty sure they're not all there. I told you she said hi, right?
Yep.
Okay.
When do you want to make your lucky trade, Jen?
She said, LOL, or so you think they're joking.
True.
I'll let you know and you can look, and then if you don't, oh well, but if you do, it helps. And if you didn't hear a little bit ago, he asked when you guys want to get together and make your lucky trade. I know she's home with a headache.
Not today, then. She needs to be feeling better. I don't want to put her out of the way.
I'll have to go look. Oh, I don't know, Brett. When do you want to?
I don't know.
And that's how you don't get together. Because I was able to source a bunch of stuff. That's okay. I just wasn't sure. She says, LOL, yep, and that's how you don't get together, because neither of you know when you want to meet.
Exactly. I can do any afternoon, Jen.
Almost any afternoon. So I'm guessing you could just tell him, hey, I'm at work today, or I'm here or there. Are you going to be in town in the next little bit? And he could get with you tomorrow for raid hour. She's hoping she'll feel better. He says that'll work. And we'll both hope you feel better too. True, I just never know for sure what the phone's picking up. I'm gonna finish up this trace tonic and let you go so I can plug in the phone and get it charged, and then I guess send it with him for a little while before I figured that's what you meant, Jen. Send it with him for a little while once it's got some more charge to it, so he can get my walking distance. And then later on, go live on Twitch. But it would be nice to get that last Hogwarts in that time too. It happens. Especially when you've got a headache or other things going on. Yeah, I just need one more Hogwarts school foundable. Maybe I'll mention it to him, and maybe that's an option too. She says, too bad you haven't said something while you're there in Hiram and just go meet her somewhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm forgetful.
Okay, I do not think another one's going to show up quickly, so I guess I'm going to have to go without finishing it. And I will finish it on the Twitch live stream. So, I will talk to you later. Thanks for joining me today, Jen. Bye.